Hey coin collectors, it's DC on the Big D, looking at the 1977 Washington quarter. This is just a very fantastic coin. This coin, at an MS65 for 1977, the Denver Mint is worth about $8, and this one's probably worth well over that. It's got some beautiful coloring. We're going to take a long look at some of these ones with the D mint mark, but we're also going to look at the Philadelphia mint mark. But before we do, we want to just remember that 1977 was a bit of a reissue for the United States in terms of the quarters. In 1977, they went back to this quarter, which is right here. And if we tip it up, maybe we can see there's a you can't really read it. There's a J and an F down there. How about if we tip this one up and look? Yeah, there's a J and an F right there for John Flanagan, who engraved this coin in 1932. At least it came out first in 1932. And that coin stayed, this exact image stayed on the coin from 1932 until 1975. Now, they did change what was in the coin. So from 1932 until 1964, it was a 90% silver. 65 and after, we have the copper nickel clad copper. And if you're thinking about the kind of copper sandwich part of it, this is definitely one. Look at all the copper you see in the middle there. It's just, the rim has just kind of worn off completely. This so-called reeded rim has worn off, and there's the copper in the middle. So the outside is a copper nickel blend. The inside is copper, and the front and back are the copper nickel blend. It says United States of America at the top, E pluribus unum, an eagle facing to our left. And what you do when these coins is you look to see how many body feathers you can see, how many feathers on the leg, whether you can see the ribbon holding the arrows here, what kind of impression you get from the oak that's kind of a wreath that's down here, and how well you can see the letters $quarter on the bottom. This one is a very, very, very worn coin. It's worth 25 cents. It actually has some chips out of it, still worth 25 cents. When this one goes to the bank, there's a split in it. Let's see if we can see inside. Not really. When this one goes to the bank, they might really turn it in and say, okay, let's get a new quarter, because they do send back the ones that are so old that they're hard to get through machines. But what happened in 1976, as part of the story, is that they came out with a different quarter. Same kind of front here, right? It's still the John Flanagan design, and if you look at the bottom, you can still see his initials down there. But they changed what it said under here. So this says 1776 to 1976. So in 75, they had it just 1975 at the bottom. 1976, they had this, the Bicentennial. 1776 to 1976, the 200th birthday. And now let's look at the D on that one. Not a great D on the Bicentennial coin either. But the big change on the Bicentennial coin wasn't the date on the front. It was the drummer boy on the back. So let's look at that eagle again. So this is the first time this quarter had ever come out with anything else on the back. Couldn't have presaged kind of the state quarters, the America of the Beautiful quarters, didn't it? Nice coloring on here. It's actually worn down to the copper there. It says United States of America on top of both of them. E pluribus unum here rather than up top. We see the 13 stars in the torch here, which isn't on the other coin at all. And we see the drummer playing the Minuteman kind of drummer from the American Revolution playing here, because the 1776 to 1976 is the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, when United States started becoming an independent country. $quarter on the bottom, but you can see the writing's quite different. So in 77, they came back to this model. And when they did, of course, they had Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, the kind of mint, the D mint mark. And look at this one. This one got punched so hard that it made a dent in the coin. And you'll see that sometimes. It's kind of funny. You see the circle around the D. These are actually punched with a rod with the D on them. Now, some people have asked us, do you have any Ds that you can actually see that it's a D rather than this big blob. And we do have, let me see if I can get one of them for you right now. This is just a very fantastic coin. You can see the coloring on here and everything. This coin, at an MS65 for 1977, the Denver Mint is worth about $8, and this one's probably worth well over that. It's got some beautiful coloring. Look how defined the lettering is on here. Look at the D on this one, and we'll see that you can actually see the center of the D. We tip it up on its edge, and even the edge is shiny on this one. We tip it over on the back, and look at that. You can see feathers all down the leg, and you can see where it splits here. Just great definition. So this one might be worth $25 or more. Another thing we look at is up here, the eye and the little tail coming out the back of the eagle's head. E pluribus unum, just a beautiful coin. So there you can get a D that's not filled up, and it looks like this. At the Philadelphia Mint, they made $468.5 million. At the Denver Mint, they made $256.5 million, and they also made them at one other mint. And you can tell that it's actually polished differently. And this is the San Francisco Mint, and that is the S. Sometimes you'll get one of these that looks much more 8-like. Sometimes you get one that looks much more filled. This is really what most of them look like, or about like that. It says 1977, and you can really see the JF on here without actually even tipping it up. You can read the JF. At the San Francisco Mint in 1977, they made 3.25 million of them. This one here is worth between $2.75 and probably $10. We tip it up, and we see not silver, because they weren't making the silver. They did make a silver a quarter in 1975, but they didn't make any after that until 1999, I think, when they came out with the silver year sets or silver proof sets. And this one, you'll see the same kind of thing that I was talking about on the other one. Maybe the feathers aren't quite as good down here, but this is not. These are supposed to be really good, so it's not going to be a huge bump in value. All right, so we have the S. We have the D that you can actually see the D. Oh, we have the San Francisco. Oh, look at this one. That's a beauty. We have the San Francisco. And we have the D that you can actually see the D on, if I can find out where I put it. About right there. And that's all we have for the 1977 United States quarter. This is DC saying, please subscribe to the Big D Coin channel. Leave any comments you might have in the comments section.